G'day everyone. Well, this is the view from the van. We're parked here at Glenelg Beach in just outside Adelaide in South Australia. This is the view I've got. This is Glenelg Beach, as I said. This is where the van's parked. Just having coffee. There's Moo Moo. Hey sweetie. You being a good girl? You a good girl? You like it here, don't you? Because you get to run on the beach and you get to swim, don't you? Hey? You love it here, don't you? Head tilt? No? You chasing the birdies? Where's the birdies, Moo? They're up in the sky, look, they're everywhere. As you can tell, there's a lot of joggers here. They're running everywhere, backwards and forwards. And this is just an amazing, it's just after 6 a.m. I think it's about 10 past 6 on, it's the 27th of December 2023. In the final throes of 2023. I'm having coffee, just got me jug boiling. See, this is what I get to see from my van. How awesome is this? This is what I love to do. So I'm gonna make a coffee, just give me 2 secs. Okay, back again. Just made myself a coffee. Be hard to do it when you're holding your camera, so here we are at Glenelg Beach in Adelaide, South Australia. Arrived here about 3 days ago, I think it was. It's actually the 28th of December, it's not the 27th. Yeah, you kind of lose track of time when you're traveling a bit. So yeah, I'm going to be here for probably a little while, look for some work in Adelaide, see how we go. Need to get some money, need to earn some money. Got a couple of debts that need to be addressed. Yeah, maxed out my credit card, totally. Went to use it last night and declined. That was for fuel, so just got barely enough cash to last for, hopefully, oops, banging the camera. Hopefully for a little while. Yeah, had a few, as you probably mentioned, had a few car repairs. First of all, it was the motor, which I needed replacing. Then the wheel came off the trailer, as I've mentioned. Had that fixed. Well, allegedly had it fixed. Didn't stay fixed for very long because I ended up having to fix it myself. Just as outside of Alice Springs, fucked up my mag wheel. I had an alloy wheel which totally destroyed it. Spoke to the guy about it. He denies it, said it was fine. Well, it wasn't, because don't know if you know about replacing bearings in a wheel, whether it be a car or a trailer. You have to. There's a lot of cute women jogging up and down here. That's a bit distracting. Anyway, I do digress. Yeah, I had to get the wheel bearing fixed on my trailer, which I did myself, because for some reason it worked loose on my trailer. He claims he tightened it properly, but he clearly didn't, because when you put the bearings in, you put the nut on, and then you put a split pin in the axle so the nut doesn't undo. Well, the split pin was still there, the nut was still there, but when I had the blowout and I jacked up the trailer, the wheel hub was all loose. It was like there's about two inches of play in there. So clearly what's happened is that over time the hub has, and the bearings have slipped out of the sleeve worked loose, wobbled like crazy, which I didn't even feel on the trailer, and it's just blown the shit out of the tyre and destroyed the mag wheel, the alloy wheel that I had, and I had to pull over, and it took me an hour to replace the wheel, re-grease the bearings and reseat them back where they should be, tighten it up, and this is probably about 5 days ago, and it's been good as gold ever since. So clearly he did not tighten up the nut, as much as he wants to deny it. He didn't do the job properly. He charged me a shitload of money to do it, and that's another bugbear I've got. Small country towns. What do you think about price gouging? When you have an issue in a small country town and you need a service, they charge a fortune. I had to get some diff oil topped up in my diff, which was a 5-minute job. I was there because I saw him do it. 5-minute job, just pumping a bit of oil into the diff. They charged me $150. This wasn't the guy that fixed my trailer. This is another mechanic in Tennant Creek. There's been other issues, like the recent guy, he didn't do the job properly, and that's the second time a mechanic has not done a job properly. The first time was at Keith in South Australia, where they put a new clutch in, but he didn't tighten up the nuts on the starter motor, and the nuts fell out. The bolts on the starter motor fell out. By the time I got to Alice Springs, the starter motor had totally disengaged from the motor, so it wouldn't start the motor. And when I took it into a mechanic there, they said, oh, half your bolts are missing. So clearly they've fallen out on the travels. And to be honest, I'm getting a bit pissed off with these so-called professional tradies who are supposed to do a job and they totally fuck it up. And there is no excuse for it. These guys are supposed to be professional, qualified tradesmen, and they do a shit job, and I'm just over it. And then they charge you a fortune for it because they've got you by the balls. You're stranded in an area where you've got no other choice, and they know it, and they will price gouge you. They will charge you a fortune. They don't do the job properly, and then you end up having to pay more to get it fixed yourself, or do it yourself, which is what happened with the trailer. So I'm completely freaking over it all. This is one reason why I decided to head to a major capital city, e.g. being Adelaide here, because I'm sick of the price gouging in small country towns. They whinge and sook that they can't get workers, but they use that as an excuse to charge you a fortune for a simple job. You know, even mechanics in Catherine, people are telling me that they had to wait weeks just to get a simple service done on their car, which only takes an hour, you know, and then they charge a fortune for it. Look, the thing is, when I lost the wheel on my trailer, it's on another video, when I was doing a U-turn, the wheel came off because the bearings had shattered. Should have checked them, but that's my fault. You know, I admit that. I should have checked them and greased them to make sure everything was okay. I was stranded. And it was just fortunately someone drove past and saw me there with the wheel off and helped me out and rang up, because there was no phone service. They had to drive 10 kilometres out their way to call a tow truck. The tow truck arrived, was quoted $500 for the tow truck. He ended up charging me $550. I don't know what that is. They might claim it's GST. But then again, he charged me twice for GST. And I could probably bloody show you this, and this really pisses me off. I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's a guy in Tennant Creek. He called me yesterday and he wasn't very happy. He reckons I did a runner, but I didn't, because he's got my details. I've got his details. If I wanted to do a runner, I wouldn't have even answered the phone, you know. So anyway, as you can see, I'll show you here. I'm going to cover his name. See here, towing is quoted $500 for a towing fee, and he's charged me $550 GST. All the other stuff as well. labour, 3.5 hours at $80 an hour to pull the old wheel hub off, replace it, put new sleeves in and your new bearings, tightening it up, grease it, all that sort of shit. And I did exactly the same job in an hour. With the same stuff, I bought another wheel hub. He was supposed to do 2 wheels. He only did one because he couldn't be fucked doing the other one. And he charged me nearly $500 for the bearing job. And then I ended up doing the other wheel myself. It took me just on an hour, and in the heat with no shade, and he had a big shed and everything. And all at $80, and I should have only charged myself $80 an hour plus the parts, which were about 100, and I got charged more for the parts by the way because he probably had account at this particular auto parts store in Tennant Creek. Anyway, I did it myself. I did it in an hour in the same job that he did, and he charged me 3.5 hours worth. See, yeah, there it is. 3.5 hours at $80 an hour, 323. I could have done the fucking job myself. In fact, I did do the job myself after he didn't do the what he was supposed to do, and he's charged me for a whole fucking set. This is good morning. See, there's people walking past here. There. So, anyway, and this just really pisses me off. He rings me up yesterday, and I wasn't dodging him. And he starts grizzling, oh, I did a runner. I said, no, I didn't do a runner because A, I've got your bank details. B, you've got my information. If I was doing a runner, I would have just ignored your phone call and not even spoken to you. And he tried to get, oh, all your bullshit excuses, all this sort of shit. It's all right for them when they want to fucking price gouge you and do a shit job, but if you fucking do something to them, they're all up in arms, whinging and complaining, oh, you're ripping me off. And they're fucking ripping me off, and I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of these fucking country towns price gouging people. You know, I've been driving around for years in these environments, and I've had issues in the past, and they do it every time, and they don't do the job properly in the first place. And that's another thing I'm pissed off with. These fucking mechanics who claim they're qualified and they do shit jobs, and I am having to pay again to pay someone else to do the job properly that they should have done properly in the first place. They're fucking whingers, and I'm just sick of it. That's why I'm over. I'm going to make sure if I go through any of these towns, hopefully I won't have any issues, because I tell you what, they're going to fucking rip you off blind, and they do. I'm sorry, but they do. I'm sorry, and I'm just sick of it. Anyway, so that's the situation up to now. I'm here in Adelaide, as I said, enjoying the beautiful view here. This is the beach near Glenelg. Beautiful sunrise this morning. People jogging up and down this path here, walking their dogs. There's Trudy and Chamu. So and there you go. So it's a constant traffic of people either jogging or walking, even on the beach. Going to spend the day here. Was here yesterday, and see how we go after that. Like I said, I've applied for a few jobs here in Adelaide. So unfortunately it's between Christmas and New Year, so most places are closed. I just have to sit tight and hope I get some bites, which I should do. I usually don't have a problem getting a job in Melbourne or anywhere else for that matter. Hopefully I get maybe a console operating job, but I don't know, because I left OTR. It wasn't dramatic circumstances, but and that's another beef I've got with small country towns is, you know, if you take a job and then for some reason you can't continue it, and I had valid reasons, because I've shown in my Facebook and that about all the windows getting smashed at OTR in Katherine. You know, it's it is a regular occurrence, almost nightly occurrence, where young kids, 2 o'clock in the morning, they smash all the windows, jump the counter, steal the cash registers and cigarettes, and then they fuck off with the lot. And the night that happened with me there, they were laughing about it. They thought it was so funny. So anyway, that's the situation. So I left, and the manager of OTR got very shitty with me. Morning. Sees another person walking. Yeah, they say good morning, which they're nice people here. It's really pleasant. Anyway, as I was saying, with the violence and everything that was going on at the servo, I was doing night shift. I explained to the manager, look, I can't stay if you can't guarantee the safety of my van and my dog, and the insurance company won't cover any damage, which is what he told me, then I can't stay. So I had to leave, and he got very shitty with me. I don't know what, I was hoping if I could get other jobs, console operators along the way, but I got a feeling he's going to be backstabbing me and shit-canning me because he got his nose out of joint because I left. It was valid reasons. I didn't want my van damaged. My van gets damaged, I'm fucked. I got nowhere to live. I got nowhere to go. I've already had it stranded for nearly 6 months in Katherine. When I had to get the motor replaced, it took that long. And people don't get that. They think it's all about them. What is inconvenient or convenient for them. And they don't give a fuck about you or me or anyone else as long as they get what they want. They're all nice and sweet at the time, but when, like I said, when they don't get what they want, they turn nasty. So, anyway, the company itself was alright to work for. I actually enjoyed the job, and I wouldn't mind doing it again. Not sure what the chances of that are, especially with OTR, but you never know. So, anyway, I've had enough of a rant, having a bit of a sook, but you kind of go through a lot of shit, and I've been out on the road for the last over 12 months now, except for the week I spent last Christmas in Melbourne having Christmas with my son and his fiance. I've spent the last year and a half in a hot climate, 30 plus degrees every day of the year. I was getting sick, my health was deteriorating, and I had to leave. That's another reason why I headed down south, because of much cooler weather, and it's glorious here today. Nice warm weather. It gets up to about 26, 27. That's what you get to see when you not camped out here, but there's a lot of pretty girls running and jogging that, and they're all very fit, and it's great. Good on them. Beats sitting in front of the TV eating chips and smoking cigarettes and getting fat. These people get out and do things with their lives and stay fit, so it's all good for them. Anyway, more people walking past. So, not that it bothers me, I don't really care. So, that's pretty much what's happening at the moment. I'll give you, I don't know if I probably showed you already here. This is it. That's where I'm parked. And it is absolutely glorious here. There's a lot more joggers out now. There's people out in the water, boats, doing a bit of fishing. You stay, move. Stay, sit. Good girl. You're a good girl, aren't you, Moo? I don't know what I'd do without you. Oh, come on. I told you to stay, but clearly you don't listen. She wants to go for a walk, I guess. And that's the view I get to see from the van. Anyway, that's about it for me. I'm going to sign off, drink my coffee. I think I've ranted enough in this clip, so... Look, not all small country businesses are bad. Well, I'm not saying they're all bad. It's not. But there are the few unscrupulous ones that have a particular trade, and because they're sadly lacking in country towns, they've got you by the balls, and they know it, and you know it. But if you're stranded or there's this dire situation, you have got no choice. You just have to pay whatever they want, and unfortunately that's how it works. So I thought, A, because of the weather, head to a capital city, and B, get some well-paid work. I've been knocking back a lot of jobs, especially in the $40 an hour bracket, because I haven't been in that particular area to accept them. And that's another thing too. If you get work in a country town, they pay you shit wages. It's disgraceful a lot, because once again, they have you by the balls, and they suck that they can't get enough workers. And now you know why, because they pay shit. They treat you pretty shit too. A couple of places I've worked at haven't been that great. They're very smiley to your face, but when your back's turned, they fucking stick the knife into you. But you got no choice, because you're stranded there, you can't go anywhere. And that's what happened with me. So anyway, I've had enough of a bitch for the morning. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day. Might shoot another clip, see how we go. Hopefully I'll get some work in Adelaide, and and see how it goes. This particular person that allegedly fixed my trailer, he didn't even call himself a mechanic, because I called him a mechanic. He said, "No, I'm not a mechanic." So that makes you even wonder. He's just a sort of hack tow truck driver, and he's got a side business where he fucks around with shit and messes around and does all that sort of stuff. So anyway, even by his own admission, he's not a mechanic. So anyway, that tells you a lot about his work, I think, to be honest. So anyway, I'm not a mechanic either, but I did a better job than he did. So that's it for me. I'm going to sign off, drink my coffee. Oh, look what I got for breakfast. Oh, check this out. Potato chips. Not quite a policeman's breakfast, but here, look what I've got here. Custard tart. Oh yeah, that's totally for breakfast. Did a bit of shopping last night. Got a few essentials. This is my fridge freezer, by the way, in case you hadn't realised. So, anyway, Paul signing off here from Glenelg Beach in, at the moment, sunny Adelaide, South Australia. Catch you on the next clip, hopefully in equally pleasant surroundings and not dealing with... Anyway, I'm not going to go there anymore. I'm just sick of ranting about it. So, Paul signing off, and we'll catch you on the next clip somewhere out there. Maybe. Go for a walk on the beach. What do you reckon, Moo? You want to go for a walk on the beach? Yeah? All good? Alright, mate. Cheers.